Let's understand the new concept, that is Hadoop a database? In this video, it will give you an introduction to is Hadoop a database. Hadoop isn't data storage or relational storage. It's mainly used to process vast amounts of data warehouse on distributed servers. It stores files in HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. However, it doesn't qualify as a relational database. Relative databases store data in tables outlined by the precise schema. Hadoop will store unstructured, semi-structured and structured data, whereas ancient databases will store solely structured data. We tend not to update or modify on data in HDFS, which might be exhausted a conventional sound unit. There are elements like Hive that works on prime of HDFS and permits users to question data keep in HDFS with SQL-like syntax referred to as HiveQL. It internally uses MapReduce to induce the results. As the world becomes additional data warehouse driven than ever before, a significant challenge has become a way to handle the data warehouse explosion. Ancient frameworks of data warehouse management currently go for the large volume of today's datasets. A speedy, ever-changing landscape of recent technologies is redefining. However, we tend to work with data at the supermassive scale. Hadoop database isn't a sort of data, but rather a software system that permits massively parallel computing. It's an enabler of bound varieties NoSQL distributed databases such as HBase, which might allow data to unfold across thousands of servers with a minimal reduction in performance. So let's understand about what is a relational database. Traditional Rdbms, Relational Database Management System, is the actual customary for management throughout the age of the web. Rdbms is currently thought to be a declining data technology, whereas the data's precise organization keeps the warehouse terribly neat. The necessity for the data to be well structured truly becomes a considerable burden at extraordinarily massive volumes, leading to performance declines as the size gets larger. Rdbms is usually not thought of as an ascendable answer to fulfill the wants of big data. What will be the future of Rdbms in relation to Hadoop? Hadoop isn't exchanged Rdbms, it's merely complementing them and giving Rdbms the potential to ingest the massive volumes of data warehouse being produced and managing their selection and truthfulness, additionally as giving a storage platform on HDFS with a flat design that keeps data during a flat design and provides a schema on scan and analytics. Huge data is evolution, not revolution. Thus, Hadoop won't replace Rdbms since they are sensible at managing relative and transactional data. Which approach is the best, either Rdbms or Hadoop? That's all depends whether. Whereas the advantages of huge data analytics in providing deeper insights that cause competitive advantage are real, those edges will solely be completed by the firms that exercise due to diligence in ensuring that victimization and Hadoop for large data analysis best serves their desires, allows us to upper hand if we will facilitate in your huge data platform comparison. So let's we move on to the variations between is Hadoop a database and relational database. Like Hadoop a database, ancient Rdbms can't be used once. It involves method and stores an outsized quantity of data or just huge data. The following are some variations between Hadoop and ancient Rdbms. Data volume. Data volume suggests that the amount of data information that's being kept and processed. Rdbms works higher once the amount of data information is low, that is in gigabytes. However, once the data size is large, that is in terabytes and petabytes, Rdbms fails to distinguish the required results. On the opposite hand, Hadoop works higher once the data size is huge. It will simply a method and store a great deal of data information quite effectively compared to the standard Rdbms. Next point is architecture. If we have a tendency to point out the design, Hadoop has the subsequent core components: HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System, Hadoop MapReduce, a programming model to method massive datasets, and Hadoop Yarn, used to manage computing resources in PC clusters. Traditional RDBMS possesses ACID properties that are atomicity, consistency, isolation and sturdiness. Next one is throughput. Throughput suggests that the volume of determination processed during an explicit amount of your time. So the output is most. RDBMS fails to attain a better output as compared to the Apache Hadoop framework. Next point is data variety. Data selection typically suggests that the kind of determination be processed. It's going to be structured, semi-structured and unstructured. Hadoop has the flexibility to a method and stores all the form of data, whether or not it's structured, semi-structured or unstructured. Although it's largely want to method a great deal of unstructured data. Next point is latency period. Hadoop has higher output and you will quickly access batches of enormous datasets than ancient RDBMS. However, you cannot access a selected record from the dataset terribly quickly. Therefore, Hadoop is alleged to own low latency. But the RDBMS is relatively quicker in retrieving the data from the datasets. Next point is scalability. RDBMS provides vertical quantifiability, that is additionally referred to as scaling up a machine. It suggests that you will add additional resources or hardware like memory, hardware to a machine within the PC cluster. Next point is data processing. Apache Hadoop supports OLAP, that is online analytical processing, that employed in data processing techniques. OLAP involves terribly advanced queries and aggregations. The data process speed depends on the number of determination, which might take many hours. The data style is denormalized, having fewer tables. OLAP uses star schemas. Next point is cost. Hadoop could be a free and open supply software system framework and you don't out to pay to shop for the software systems license, whereas RDBMS could be an authorized software system. So you have to got to pay as to shop for the entire software system license. The choice of one platform over the opposite boils all the way down to use cases and needs that best suit it. Hadoop got its foothold within the marketplace for providing a storage quantifiability on the far side, the flexibility of an RDBMS to manage. Conjointly, there are many use cases that are strengths of a relative model are not thus necessary. If you would like ACID transactions or OLAP support, for instance, the likelihood is you will use Hadoop, scale back your total prices by quite a bit and grapple with an powerful options Hadoop database needs to supply. As huge data continues down to its path of growth, there is a little question that these innovative approaches utilizing the NoSQL data design and Hadoop software system will be central to permitting firms to reach full potential with data. So this has been a guide to Is Hadoop a database? Here we discuss the future of RDBMS in relation to Hadoop and variations between Hadoop database and RDBMS.